but it's okay because your way through life. Now, what did I mean when I wrote that earlier today? Lately, I've been catching myself saying something that I'm normally complaining about and then reframing it right away. So, like, right now, I'm by myself at home, and even though I normally like my space, I'm noticing the absence of what it feels like to be home alone, like truly, truly home alone. And I was commenting on the experience, saying how lonely I feel. And then right after, I'm like, but it's okay because I get to organize my thoughts, I get to spend time with myself, and I get to be with myself. And that is a blessing that I know most people are afraid to even look at as a blessing, because being by yourself means having all doors open, all thoughts open, that oftentimes we're trying to fill the void by spending time with other people. And not only that, I feel like it becomes a thing of validation. Like, we most of the time are like the last person to ever validate ourselves. We are so used to getting validation from other people that when it comes time to sit with yourself, be by yourself, many people are uncomfortable by that. So, but it's okay because it's perfect. It's such a perfect way of thinking about things and processing things, because it's not entirely eliminating the whole complaining, because complaining is something that we're all kind of used to in our own ways. You know, we may be super grateful, we may be super like in our reflection about, you know, what we feel abundant in this world, but we can still have our moments. Like, some of us, you know, if we're stuck in traffic, we're complaining because, you know, we have somewhere to be. Or let's say we wake up to noise, we get frustrated because it ruins our sleep. It's things like that. Like, everyone, I think, has it in their mind as like an instinct to just default to complaining. And that's why I feel like this thought popped into my mind, because someone could be having the worst day of their lives, and the one thing that they're dreaming of is having your average day. You know, like, you may look at your days that you spend and think, my life is so boring. Like, you know, I have to wake up at this time and be ready for this at this time. I'm doing the same things every single day, and it feels like my life is like, it's just, there's no variety. But someone who, let's say, has health issues that's declining, or someone who recently got into an accident and can maybe no longer walk, like, they are dreaming most likely of having your average day. So having that thought pop into my mind really put things into perspective for me, because so often we are used to not giving ourselves enough credit. I will always shine a light on and be transparent about how there can be a dark side to anything that can seem inherently good, because essentially what can happen is you can become addicted to it. Again, I say this time and time again, if you've been watching my videos from when I started, I'm like a broken record, but it is for a reason. Because once you're like in this self-improvement journey, you know, you're reading all these books like back to back to back, it feels so gratifying to be let in on all this new information, but it can become overload as well, because it feels like, you know, no matter what you're learning, no matter how much effort you're putting in, no matter how productive you are in a day, it never feels enough. And that is the dark side, essentially, because even if you're doing something inherently good, you're not even focused anymore on how much you're doing and being appreciative of how much you've accomplished and how far you've ultimately gotten, but instead you feel lack. So that is completely paradoxical to what we're trying to do. But that being said, we need to give ourselves more credit where credit is due. Like, yesterday, I had such a productive day. Like, I did laundry, I cooked, I deep cleaned part of my room. I just was getting so many things in order. I was making phone calls, like all these things, right? And I was proud of myself as I was completing the tasks, but it dawned on me that at the end of my day, I felt like I could have done more. And that is the scary part, is running ourselves to the point of burnout and exhaustion in the name and under the guise of self-improvement. I need to state this time and time again. You're not this like self-improvement project that always needs to be worked on. I think rest is such an important part of the process. Rest is an important part of recovery. Having these times of stillness, like me being by myself right now, I'm grateful. You know, in the beginning I was like, oh, it feels really weird if you're used to kind of living with someone, or, you know, always having someone to talk to routinely. It feels weird, right? Like it feels so weird to be kind of stripped away from that. But anything that comes your way in life that can be, you know, given to you as a lesson or an opportunity to think is a blessing, you know? So next time you catch yourself kind of in the frame of mind of complaining, and I feel like sometimes as well, it's hard to catch yourself because you're so used to doing something. It's like, you know, it'd be me saying like, catch yourself every time you breathe or every time you blink. You'd be like, what? And I'm just doing it automatically. It's the same thing when we complain. And actually I saw somebody doing like no complaint challenge for 30 days where they just don't complain, and that seems impossible to me. You know what I mean? Like it's in our nature, I would say, to kind of look at things in a pessimistic light. But the difference is now you're not stopping at that pessimistic thought, okay? And you're not stopping at the lack mindset. You're not stopping at not feeling good enough. Going back to the day where I had accomplished so many things, but I was just like, I want more. I want more. That time of stillness that you have to let thoughts come in, to let certain triggers come up, like that's important too. I was trying to kind of graduate from the perfectionist mindset and move on to something else because it wasn't serving me. It has never served me to think, oh, I'm not enough. I need to do more. I'm not enough. I need to do more. I'm not enough. I need to do more. Listen, for some people that works. That frustration that you have about not being where you want to be can be such a good driving force for your success, because ultimately my feeling like that is about driving. You can let that be your driving force, but it becomes very toxic when you only see yourself for what you lack. There is this quote from Naval Ravikant, and he says, if you can't appreciate a cup of coffee, you'll never appreciate a yacht. And that quote strikes so much controversy because some people are like, well, I don't like coffee. Well, how about you give me a coffee on a yacht? Well, just give me the yacht then. And it's like all this stupid shit. But what the quote is saying ultimately is, if you can't appreciate the small joys in your life, again, whether you like coffee or not, you know, the simplicity of making a beverage that you enjoy and getting to like bask in that moment, because it's simple but it brings you joy, it sets your tone for the day. If you can't even appreciate that, if you can't even hold that in your hand and be like, wow, like, thank you, this is so good because I like how it tastes, I don't know, I like the fact that it wakes me up, it makes me feel refreshed, whatever, how on earth are you going to appreciate something bigger? You know what I mean? And yes, you can argue there are people who have things in the world, they don't appreciate them. I would not want to be someone who has things and doesn't appreciate them. I would rather have less in my life and appreciate it than be someone with all these, you know, things in abundance that people really care about and then just be like, oh, whatever. Like, that's shallow to me. And if you want to be a shallow person and live a shallow life, like, in my opinion, you shouldn't get the things that you want. Like, you should be grateful for every milestone that you achieve in this life. You should be grateful essentially for who you are now and who you were before, because that's a huge part of the transformation itself. Is like, well, I want to be this, I want to look like this, I want to talk like this, I want to act like this, I want this amount of money in my bank account, I want my partner to be this. But then once you get that, it's still you, but now with these things. And now you're unpacking the process it took you to get there. I say it's growth, no matter what. And again, it's the thing with the whole coffee and the yacht analogy. If you cannot appreciate something as small as being grateful for where you are now and being grateful for who you were before you even wanted to make all these good things happen for yourself, before you even wanted to grind for success, for happiness, love, whatever it is for you, how on earth are you going to be able to appreciate the things that you want to hold in your life that are much bigger than that? Do you see what I'm saying? It's perspective. I may not be exactly where I want to be right now with my life because I don't have my license and I don't have my car. But it's okay because it has allowed me to take so much time to invest so much money into becoming a safe driver and having safe practices. I know that there are many people on the road that I see every day when I go practice driving that shouldn't have their license because of how they behave on the road. But it's okay because that's their life to live. I know I'm a safe driver. I know I can keep myself safe. And ultimately, any lessons that they have to learn in their life will be an opportunity for them to become better drivers, should that be something that they, realize or want to realize that is out of my control. This career of wanting to be online and make money online, create stuff online, has been a lifelong dream of mine since I was young and consuming YouTube like every day routinely. I may not be where I want to be right now, you have big goals for yourself. I have big goals for myself, but it's okay because it allows me to appreciate and hold what I have now. It allows me to appreciate and hold what I'm learning right now and being able to take it step by step. Imagine, right? Like, this is something that genuinely brings me like anxiety in my chest. Imagine if you got the biggest thing you've ever dreamed of in your life right now. Would you be able to handle it? Because let's say my ultimate goal, let's just say it's 1 million subscribers on YouTube. If I got given that tomorrow, like that number popping up on my screen, on my channel, I would freak. I would panic. I would not know what to do. So ultimately, if you're not somewhere where you want to be, you have to reframe that, but it's okay because, and see every limitation that you have, obviously as a limitation. I'm not saying don't you dare be sad. Don't you dare be depressed. Don't you dare feel your feelings, because I'm a huge advocate for feeling your feelings. I was depressed heavily last winter. I went to the doctors. I got prescribed antidepressants. I never went through with it. But it's okay because it allowed me to go get therapy. It allowed me to look inward. It allowed me to strengthen the bond that I have with myself. You can apply this example into any area of your life. Let's say you have relationship triggers. Me and my partner got into an argument today. It was about X, Y, and Z. I feel crap. They felt crap as well. We resolved it. Or maybe you didn't even resolve it. But you're in the heat and in the midst of this argument, and you're like, but it's okay because this argument gives me an opportunity to bond with my partner. As weird as it sounds, you're like, okay, I'm arguing with them. How am I bonding? You're going to, at the end of that argument, have more clarity about it. It doesn't matter if it's the same thing that you keep running back to. If they are willing to know you and if you're willing to know them, you are going to figure something out. You're going to learn something even more than you did last time. You know what I'm saying? Oh, this is amazing. This is an amazing reframing technique. My first few videos I was recording with these, but now the end to my phone is different, so I can't use this anymore. But I will order a new pair just to make videos, because not only do I love the vibe that these give, but I just love talking into the microphone. But that is what I'm going to leave you guys with today. If there is something in the forefront of your mind right now, think of 3 things, 3 areas of your life that you just feel weak in. You need to be the one to strengthen yourself through those situations, because You're just used to feeling bad about them. You deserve to feel better about them. You know what I mean? Like, you just do. You've been through so much. You might be going through a lot right now. Why not be kinder to yourself? Why not, you know, have this opportunity now that you've watched this video to really reflect on that? Okay? And remember, take reign of your own life.